Summary of Killers of the Flower Moon by David Grann. In Killers of the Flower Moon, writer and journalist David Grann gives a very detailed account of a sad but little-known part of American history, the Osage Reign of Terror. This was a period of 5 years, from 1921 to 1926, when up to 20 Osage Indians were killed in cold blood to get their valuable oil money shares. The Osage were the richest people in the country per person in the early 1920s. Their reservation just outside of Pawhuska, Oklahoma, was once on top of one of the largest oil deposits in the country, and tribal law gave each member of the tribe a head right, or a share of the mineral trust. Most of the time, though, the government said that the Osage were incompetent and pushed them into guardianships. Their own money was out of their hands, and their white neighbors were in charge of the overflowing accounts. When white Americans heard exaggerated stories about the Osage's wealth, many of them became angry. Those who lived in the places near and on the Osage land tried to kill Osage tribe members through cruelty, trickery, and outright evil so they could get their money. Grann's story is in 3 parts. The first part of the book, which takes place in the early 1920s, is about the Osage Nation and, in particular, one Osage family. Molly Burkhart is married to Ernest Burkhart, who is white but has Osage blood in him. Her sisters Rita and Anna also married white guys, and her sister Minnie recently died of a weird illness that causes weight loss. When Anna's dead body is found in a gully, shot in the back of the head, and Charles Whitehorn's body is found in the same valley, shot to death, Molly starts to think that her family is being killed because of their head rights. Then, just a few months later, Molly's mother Lizzie dies of the same wasting illness as Minnie, and Rita and her husband Bill Smith are killed in an explosion that turns their house into rubble. Molly knows for sure that her family is being killed off one by one, and she is next. In the second half of the book, Grann focuses on the federal investigators who come to Osage County to look into the string of murders, which involve more than just Molly's family and also an oilman and a lawyer who tried to solve the murders on their own. A young, strange, and careful man called J. Edgar Hoover has just taken over the Bureau of Investigation, which is not yet known by its final name, the FBI. Hoover sends the intimidating former Texas Ranger Tom White to Oklahoma to find out what's going on. White and his team come to town secretly because they know that Hoover wants to use this case to make the FBI known and give federal agents more power. As White and his agents try to figure out who did the crimes, they hire bootleggers, moonshiners, cattle rustlers, and other criminals as spies to help them. In the meantime, they get to know the busy but corrupt world of the Osage Reservation boomtowns. William K. Hale, Ernest Burkhart's uncle, used to raise cattle but has become well known and now works as an assistant sheriff. Hale seems to be in charge of everyone and everything, including the lives of many Osage. As White and his investigators get more involved in the town, they realize that Hale has set up a huge plan to kill Molly's family members one by one and then kill Molly with the help of the 2 dishonest town doctors, the Shawn brothers, so that he can get the family's money. The worst part is that Hale's nephew, Molly's husband Ernest, has been in on the plan the whole time. After getting a statement from Osage Burkhart, White and his team bring the proof to Hale. Hale, who is cool and controlled, says he will fight the accusations with everything he has. As soon as the cases start, Burkhart switches between speaking against Hale and for him. In the end, the pain gets to him, and he says bad things about Hale. Still, White fears that Hale, who is well known in the town, has the judge and jury in his pocket. In a shocking turn of events, Hale is found guilty and given a life term for his crimes. White did the right thing by Hoover and gave his boss the evidence and authority he needed to start the Federal Bureau of Investigation. White then quit the FBI and became the warden of the extremely harsh Leavenworth Jail, where Hale was a prisoner. David Grann goes to the Osage Reservation several times between 2012 and 2015 in the 3rd part of the book. He is doing research for the book, and as he goes through the U.S. National Archives and talks to Burkhart's descendants and many other Osage families who were affected by the Reign of Terror, he realizes that the Bureau didn't solve most of the Osage murders and hid the fact that hundreds of Osage Indians, not just 20 or 30, were killed over a period of almost 20 years, not the tight 5-year period officially stated. Grann is sad that most people don't know about the terrible history of the Osage tribe. Their story isn't taught in schools, and because the FBI didn't do enough to get justice for the Osage people, most people have forgotten about it. Grann knows that sometimes justice can never be done, even though history is often a merciless judge. As one of his friends on the reservation says, quoting the Bible, "The blood cries out from the ground."
About the author. Grann was born on March 18, 1967. He grew up wanting to be a writer. His mother was the first woman to run a big publishing company as CEO, and she also ran the Bennett Cancer Center in Connecticut. When Grann was hired as a copy editor at The Hill, a political paper in Washington, D.C., he started using his journalism skills, and he quickly moved up to become the paper's executive editor. Grann went on to write for The New Yorker, where his stories and essays were praised by critics and won him the 2009 George Polk Award, as well as spots on the shortlists for the Samuel Johnson Prize and the National Magazine Award. Grann's two most famous books, The Lost City of Z and Killers of the Flower Moon, have been made into movies, nominated for many awards, and shown off Grann's unique way of mixing fact and fiction in a creative way. His books are very detailed and well-researched, and they combine the plain facts of history with Grann's sensitive, caring thoughts about human nature, cultural clashes, greed, ambition, and passion.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.